Welcome to another edition of the Double D Show. I'm going to be honest with you guys right here, right now. This is going to be a hard video for me to film. Very, very hard. I'm going to be talking about some things that are going to make me very emotional, and there's a good chance I'll start crying through it. If I do, so what? It's a very touching subject to me. It's something that means quite a lot to me. And it's something that I'm not ashamed to cry over, especially not over on camera. Today, you guys get the story of the whole origin of Double D and how I got my new ring name, Denise Donterrius. So growing up, even more than my mom, one of my favorite relatives to be around in general or just go to visit was my grandmother. My grandmother and I have always had a really, really strong connection. I was her first grandchild. Ever since I was first born, she would just dote on me heavily. I was spoiled rotten by her. But more than that, she would teach me stuff from a really young age too. Taught me how to go fishing at age 3, just by tying a rope between us so that way I didn't wander off and everything. So she's always been one of my absolute favorite people to visit when I go home to Louisiana. Oftentimes, the reason why I went home to Louisiana was specifically to go see her. So, as a child, one thing that she would always have me do was say that I was gonna be the first black rocket scientist to work for NASA or whatever, which I thought was, one of those cute little things, oh, my grandson's gonna be such and such one day, but it kind of stuck with me, even though I realized I didn't want to do that. And I say that it stuck with me in a sense that it taught me the value of being able to have big dreams and wanting to do the impossible. So because of that, that's actually, how I was confident enough to say I actually want to be a professional wrestler when I grow up, and we are actually going to try and make that happen. Over the years, my grandmother and I's relationship got stronger. Again, she was my absolute favorite person to go visit in Louisiana. And about a year, was it a year ago? No, it was almost 2 years ago. So in the summer of 2017, August 2017 to be exact, I was on a trip to Wyoming with my ex at the time. We went to Wyoming to go see the solar eclipse. One of his friends lived fairly close to where we would be able to actually see it and see the blackout and everything. So we decided to go take a trip to, I forget where this place is in Wyoming. It's some bullshit ass town. There ain't nothing special there. But we went to Wyoming, and while I was there, I got a call from my aunt or my mom. I don't remember who it was, but it was one of the two. And on that call, they were this is about to be a very serious topic. You guys, we need you guys to be paying attention, and we're only gonna try to say this once, so we're gonna wait until everybody's here. And so immediately I was something's wrong. Something is wrong. Something's wrong. I don't know what's wrong, but something is wrong. And whatever news that I'm about to get, I am really not gonna like. And it turns out that during that phone call, my aunt or my mother, I forget who was talking. I think it was my aunt. My aunt revealed to us that my grandmother had cancer. For me, I kind of went into denial almost immediately. If you're familiar with the 5 stages of grief or whatever, denial is the first stage, and I went into denial immediately and stayed in denial pretty much up until the day she, a few days before her death. My aunt had let us know that my grandmother had contracted cancer. At that point in time, they were having a hard time kind of discerning which one it was. They thought it could either be bladder cancer that had spread to her stomach, or it could have been stomach cancer that spread to her bladder. But hearing that, one thing that she asked of us was just, make time to call grandma every week or whatever, whenever you can. She's really scared about this, but she's gonna need all the support that she could possibly get. And as her grandkids, you guys being there for her would mean a lot to her. Whew. As you guys can see, I'm already getting emotional about this shit. It's I haven't thought about that since that day. Have not thought about this since that day, really. So I'm reliving all of this as it's actually happening. Whew, man. Oh, fuck. shit. You at least save the tears before they like start streaming for real. But like I said, like I went into denial almost immediately. Granted, I did definitely try to call grandma when I could. A lot of times I didn't call her as much as I would have liked to, just because I was going through a lot of my own shit too. Just having like a shitty boyfriend, shitty job, just being unhappy with life in general. So as much as I would have liked to have been able to be there for her better than I already was, is just, you know, it was hard. It was hard because, you know, I had my own stuff to take care of. But I always tried to call her at least once a month. And one of the last conversations she and I had revolved around wrestling. And I was telling her about just like how much I missed being in the ring, and that like I just wanted to wrestle, and I guess like how much I missed being in the ring, and that I really wanted to chase down wrestling as my career. And she was like, you know, well, if that's really what you want to do, then, you know, go do it. And I believe that you have all the tools and skills and capabilities and everything that you're ever going to need to do that. And so it was like a really touching moment for me, because I called her just on a whim, just trying to talk to her. Found out she was actually having a really bad day that day, and I was able to, like, you know, just to me, her hearing my voice, like, just her hearing my voice, like, cheered her up significantly. Like, she was like, you know, you made my day by calling me. And then, you know, just hearing her, like, say that back to me, that, you know, she believed in me, that I could actually do that, like, it was touching, because to my knowledge, my grandmother has never seen me wrestle. It's probably, like, a large reason why I'm crying right now, because it's something that means a lot to me, and it hurts so bad to know that she's never actually going to physically be able to see that. But yeah, my grandmother has never seen me wrestle, but for her to say that, it was just like, that means a lot, Grandma. Like, thank you. That really means a lot. And so, because I was in denial about her having cancer, it was really tough for me. Really tough for me. Like, really, really tough. I don't even know, like, where to, like, take this from here, because it's like, it was really, really tough. You know, shortly after that, one of those times that we talked, I had this insanely realistic dream. And like, I've never even told it in its full entirety to anyone except for my ex, what that dream exactly entailed. But I don't feel like it was a dream whatsoever. I really feel like I was astral projecting. Again, it's something that we'll talk about on Spirit Sundays, is like these dreams I have that are too vivid and too realistic to be dreams, but like they have to be astral projections. Like, they have to be. Like, there's no way it could be anything else. Like, they're way too vivid, they're way too real, they're like, it can't be anything else. But I had this dream one night that basically I descended, like, I don't even know where I was. Like, it looked like hell. There was just like fire all around me or whatever. But I guess I like went to death or Hades or whatever, and was just like super extremely upset, and was just like, you know, please don't take my grandmother. Like, she means a lot to a lot of different people right now. Like, you can't take her. And I was actually gonna like offer myself instead and say, you know, take me instead. And before those words could even leave my mouth, literally felt like something grabbed me from the back of my shirt and threw me back into my body. And so I started panicking as I started waking up, realizing that I was coming back into my body. And then once I like fully woke up, I just like started bawling. And, you know, my ex thought it was just a nightmare. But like, I don't even think I told him the full extent of like what that dream was truly about. Was that basically I was trying to trade my soul for my grandmother's, because she meant that much to me and I didn't want her to die. And that's fucking heavy, man. Fucking heavy. Here I am, 26 years old, ready to trade in my life for my grandmother's because she meant that much to me. Here I go with the tears again. And so, shortly after that, it was like when I got to the acceptance point in the grief scale. My mom had like called to tell us that like grandma's treatment wasn't working, so she was gonna go to a specialist. And she called me like a few days after they were supposed to be at the specialist, and I was just like, well, what, like, well, how's grandma doing? Like, what did the doctor say? And she's like, grandma didn't make it to the doctor. She got really sick, and I was just like, but she's gonna be okay though, right? And my mom, her voice broke, and like before she even said it, I was just like, man, fuck. She's not gonna come back from this. Simply just for hearing my mom's voice break, and then before she could even say it, you know, just confirmed it from was like, baby, grandma's not gonna come back from this. So I got off the phone, like immediately laid in my bed and just started bawling again. Super upset, just super upset, because it was like, you know, I felt helpless in that situation. Entirely helpless, because my grandmother was like a fucking amazing person, man. She was so amazing. Like, you could be going through something, and if you were someone that like always felt like no one cared, she made you feel like she cared. Even if you were like a complete stranger to her, she'd take the time to listen to you and just like, you know, try to help if she could. Even beyond that, just super funny. Always scaring people, always fucking with people. Just, she loved to laugh, she loved to make other people laugh. So, it was hard. It was very hard coming to that conclusion. So, after that point and realizing that, like, I literally tried to do everything I could. Try to call about like every single week. Except for, you know, she just kept getting sicker and sicker to the point she just needed to sleep and like take her pain medication because she was in so much pain that she was sleeping all the time. And the last conversation I had with her came, I think, 2 or 3 days before her birthday. And first my mom called, and I could tell she was upset because she was crying. And I was like, oh fuck, what's going on? Like, did grandma die already? She's like, no, grandma's not dead. But she needs to hear that you're gonna be okay. Can you do that for me? Can you just tell grandma that you're gonna be okay? And so sat there like trying to like fight back my own tears and everything. When she got on the phone, I was like, you know, grandma, it's okay. You can go. You don't have to worry about me. Like, I'm your first grandchild. I'm fine. Like, you taught me a lot. I'm gonna be okay. And last thing I ever said to her was, you know, as long as I have wrestling, I will always have you. And that in itself is why I fought so hard to get back to the sport. Like, I know a lot of people who like looked like from the outside looking in, like to them it probably didn't seem like I was putting as much effort forward as possible, but I was, because there is no one in this world that I would ever want to disappoint or let down more than my grandmother. Fuck everyone else's opinions. Fuck everyone else. She meant that much to me that I dedicated my entire wrestling career to her. And so, afterwards, got off the phone, started crying again, just bawling my eyes out, because at that point, you know, I basically had to accept that, you know, very soon, she wasn't going to be here. And so, with that revelation and me deciding that, you know, I'm going to dedicate my career to her if in the event that she passes, I decided to take her name. At that point in time, I was still trying to figure out exactly what was going on with me gender-wise. I started claiming to gender fluid, which is totally not the case. I was just saying that just because my ex at the time couldn't handle me having a transition, which if you're in that situation, bitch, fuck your ex, fuck your boyfriend, fuck whoever. If they can't love you for who you truly are, they are not the person for you. Don't you compromise who you are and who you want to be for a man or a woman or what anybody else. Period. Life is too short for you to be miserable and wasting your time on, poor decisions and not living your happiness because of other people. Don't do that. And so, oh fuck. Vape break, because this is some intense shit. So, I think that happened like on February 2nd. So like 3 days later, for her birthday, February 5th, I tried to call her multiple times. Like, I think I called like somewhere around like, it was a really high number of times, like maybe in the double digits. Because, like, I was just like, I have to tell her happy birthday. Like, that can't be the last time that we had a conversation. Like, I'm not going to let that be the last conversation I have with my grandmother. Like, that's not how I want to remember going, the last thing I say to her, And then finally, like, my aunt answered the phone, and I told her I was just, like, trying to just say happy birthday to Grandma. And she's like, Grandma's been sleeping all day, baby. Like, you might have to try again tomorrow. And, like, in that instant, I just knew that, like, the last time I talked to her was going to be the last time I ever talked to her. And, like, yeah, got off the phone, just started crying. And at that time, I was actually at work, back when I was working at Wish Wish. So, like, I, like, walked out of the store. I was like, nah, fuck this, man. I gotta go take a smoke break, Adriana. Like, this is some shit, man. Like, this is some shit. I'm, like, about to fucking, like, walk out of this building right now. That's how fucking upset I am. Like, fuck this job. Fuck everyone. And so, like, a few days later, I'm at my ex's house, like, super, super wide awake, like I am right now talking to you guys. And just literally out of nowhere, I just got, like, this weird, heavy feeling of sleepy and just, like, kind of face planted into the table and just went to sleep. Like, and, for both of us, it was, like, really weird because I hadn't smoked any weed or anything that day, and I just, like, got tired out of nowhere. And then when he woke me up to, like, eat, it, like, I kind of felt like I was on autopilot, like I was there, but I wasn't really there. And then, like, literally as soon as I finished eating, head back down on the table, went back to sleep. And then, he just, like, left me there for a little bit, just like, that's weird, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but okay. And then finally came time for us to, go to bed. Again, had to, like, basically wake me up and, like, walk me to the room or whatever because I was just not responsive, not there. And, about 2 or 3 o'clock, in the morning, like, the next day, woke up, stone cold woke up, like, wide awake, and just started bawling. Didn't even have to look at my phone or anything, like, just knew she was gone. And then, like, to confirm it, like, a few seconds later, my phone starts vibrating, and I get a text message from my cousin that says, Mama wants me to tell you that Grandma passed. And literally a few seconds after that, my mom calls. And, it's like, did you hear? I'm like, yeah, I did. And, she's sitting there crying. I'm crying. And, like, not understanding just, like, why I'm so hurt about this. And even more so, why I knew she was dead before anyone even told me. And it wasn't until, like, a couple of months ago, when I, like, started getting back into my spirituality and everything even further, that I had this dream and I realized what had happened. And in that process, when I fell asleep, I wasn't in my body. I was with her. I was with her the entire time. And then when it was time for her to finally cross over to the other side, I'm the one who walked her to her mom. And clear as day, clear as fucking day, I could hear her mom, what we called her granny, like that was her name, even if she wasn't really your grandma, like her aunt or whatever, like everyone called her granny. Clear as fucking day, her granny say, "Come on, Donna, come on home now, you don't have to fight no more." Donna was always the nickname that she called her. Her name is Denise, but that was the nickname that your granny called her. Like, she called her Donna, which is really funny when you think about it, and the fact that she called her Donna and my name is Donterrius, legally. But yeah, after I had that dream, that's when I realized that the whole reason why I fell asleep is because I was literally the spirit guide for my grandmother crossing over to the other side. And coming to that realization fucking killed me. Like, just started bawling again once I woke up. Like, I was really, really fucked up for a while after my grandmother passed. Really fucked up. Like, couldn't eat, could barely function at work, super angry with my partner all the time for like all the times that he's fucking up, and he's just like, well, I can't go do this. And I'm like, dude, you are concerned about sticking your dick in somebody. My fucking grandmother just died. Like, I don't give a damn about that shit right now. Like, if you want to go be a whore, go be a whore. I don't care. I do not care. I need support right now. Like, I'm not okay. And if you're not the person who's going to be able to give that to me, then get the fuck out of my life. Like, I don't want to put up with this bullshit right now. Again, which is like the catalyst that started the events for us breaking up, was just me going to be fed up with him and just being like, you know, I really feel like my grandmother wouldn't put up with this shit, so if she wouldn't put up with it, why should I? You know, that's when I started making all the changes to try and get me to wrestling. After that, I left Witch and started working for Office Depot. You know, like I said, started gaining more confidence and started putting my foot down more in the relationship. There were a few times I fucked up, and I should have broke up with that motherfucker before we actually broke up, but you know, bitch needing support and everything, wasn't in a clear state of mind to actually realize what type of fuckery was going on, but everything happens for a reason, and it's all good. But yeah, Grandma and her passing were the catalyst for me fighting as hard as I have for the past year to be able to get back to wrestling. And that's why it really means so much for me to be able to just, you know, go to the seminar this weekend, or for just some way to finally get my finances fixed. That way I feel comfortable enough to go back to wrestling, and I don't have this mountain of debt looming over my head. Because this entire time that she's been gone, I've really felt like I failed her. I've tremendously felt like I failed her so bad by not living up to that promise I told her of, you know, I'll always have you with me as long as I have wrestling. Like, I feel like I have not carried on her memory well. I feel like I basically made an empty promise to her. And again, that's why I've been fighting so hard to make this happen, is because she's the last person in this world I would have ever wanted to let down. But yeah, that's where the name Denise Donterrius comes from. It's paying homage to myself, because Mickey James herself told me that Donterrius is an awesome ass name and I need to use it because it's money, and she's right. But even more than that, it's me paying homage to my grandmother for her in a young age instilling in me the belief that I could do anything that I wanted to in this world. That I could have big dreams, I could do the impossible, and I could do, you know, anything. And that's probably like gonna be like the first time you guys have like seen me cry on camera, like the entire episode. Like, I've cried on camera a few times, like with the 1.0 Double D show. So again, if you want to go see that shit, there's a playlist. It's not the best. It's not the best whatsoever, but yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. That's why I keep fighting so hard, and every time I want to give up, that's why I don't give up, because, you know, she never gave up. Even through her her journey with cancer, she stayed fighting to be there for her family, just to, you know, provide us with long-lasting moments that we were going to be able to remember of her. At her funeral, like, I'm just listening to people just talk about her, and it's like, you know, I never realized what profound effect that she had, not just on me, but like the rest of our family. People just saying like how much she helped them, like when they were kids, and like getting them off of bad paths and putting them onto good ones. hearing a story my aunt told about how she was in so much pain after her first chemo session, but was still determined to go to one of my cousin's games that he was coaching because she wanted to see him coach for the first time. You know, just hearing about how even though she was in so much pain and sickly, you know, came out here to Colorado to like celebrate my mom getting her a house because that was important to her that she get to celebrate with my mom that my mom just bought a house. And that was like the last time I physically saw her was like her here. And you know, I could tell she was in pain. I could tell she was in pain, but I could tell that she was happy because she was around the people she loved. But just like moments like that, like just seeing how hard that she fought, even though she was on the doorstep of death, in so much pain, having to take pain pills, but still fighting to be there for her family. That was just like, you know, I can't give up. I can't give up. Because, basically, my grandmother is the exact type of woman that I've always wanted to be my entire life. She was someone who was charismatic. She was funny. She cared so much about other people. She cared about the world. She just wanted other people to be happy, and she wanted to do what she could to make them happy. And that's why I've said, you know, I'm going to carry on that legacy, and I'm going to do that with wrestling. So that's why, you know, it's been really frustrating for me that A, I haven't been able to get into wrestling, B, that my YouTube channel hasn't taken off the way that I wanted it to, because it's like, you know, I'm putting so much time and effort and energy into trying to make these things happen, and trying to live up to my grandmother's name, and it's just like, fuck, man. Fuck, this is really rough, this is hard, it's disheartening, because all I want to do is just be the woman that my grandmother was. I just want to be somebody that's known to be dependable, that you can turn to, who's going to have this like sage-like advice, because I give really good advice about a lot of shit. I need to start taking my own advice, which I really have, but you know, I know a lot about a lot of different things, so because of that, I'm able to give really good advice, but it's just, it's hard, it's frustrating, and it's disheartening, because it's like, that's all I want to do is just be the woman that my grandmother was, and tie that together with my YouTube channel and wrestling, and there always seems to be some sort of fucking obstacle in the way of doing that. But, like my grandmother, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop trying. It doesn't mean I'm going to not fight for it, because I believe in this enough that, you know, even though I can't see it now, there's going to be a payoff for it very, very, very soon. And I'm going to be able to be like, see, Grandma, I told you. I told you. And when I get to that point, you know, not just for my YouTube channel, but like when I get to WWE and people hear my story, everyone's going to know who my grandmother was. Everyone who knows who I am is going to know who my grandmother was and exactly what she meant to me and how she shaped me to be the woman that I'm becoming now. In real talk, like, I would do anything in this world to be able to just say hi to her again. Like, there are days when I'm looking through my phone and I'm just like feeling like shit, and I'm just like, man, who the fuck could I turn to right now? Like, I just need some advice, I just need someone to be here. And I'll come across her phone number and just start crying, just knowing that I can't get her advice like that anymore. Yeah, it's fucking hard. It is fucking hard. It hurts so fucking bad. Because again, I feel like a failure and like I'm not living up to the promise I made her. And that hurts more than anything in this world. But, you know, I don't think that she would think that I don't think she would think that I'm failing or not living up to her memory at all. I would think she'd probably say that, you know, life's a journey, life's a process, and sometimes things just take a little bit longer than you actually want them to take. Which would fucking suck, and I'd probably be like, fuck you, Grandma, I don't want to hear that. But it'd be the truth, and I'd be like, yeah, you know, you're right. Just like so many other memories I have of her, like, that I wish we could do again, like, wish I could just go pick her up and go take her fishing for once. Wish I could just, like, go to her house and we, like, make deer meat burgers or whatever. surprisingly, my grandmother had actually quit smoking cigarettes when she got cancer, which I really don't understand because it's why she stopped smoking cigarettes was so that way she, wouldn't develop cancer. But she stopped smoking cigarettes like I think I was like 16, 17 when she stopped smoking. And honestly, I love the opportunity to just, go to her house and smell the familiar cigarette smoke of Virginia Slims and maybe even have a cigarette with grandma. Like, I think actually I did smoke a cigarette with her once. I did. It was like my senior year of high school. Because like I didn't really know cigarettes like that or whatever. And so one day I went to Walmart, they didn't have what I was looking for. So I was like, Virginia Slims, give me those. And then like as I'm walking in, I'm like, hey, grandma smokes these. There's like so much that I wish I could do just to see her again, just to talk to her again. But I know that she's still here. She's definitely still here. There are times where I walk into my room and I smell her perfume, and it's so distinct that I know it's her. Her favorite perfume in the world was Chanel No. 5. I don't even own that shit. Like, I don't own it whatsoever, but I can walk in my room some days and just smell it and just know that she was here. There are times when I actually can hear her voice, like, guiding me like she's a guardian angel. And I'll hear her, like, say stuff like, don't do that, or you should probably go home, or whatever have you. So, like, I know she's still here. But she's not here in a way where I can, like, physically have a conversation with her. She's not here in a way where I can, like, call her up and be like, Grandma, I need some advice. She's not here in a way where I could just be like, Grandma, I just need a hug. And it fucking hurts. But I'm glad that I was able to, tell this story about how she's influenced the woman that I'm becoming still, and the woman that I hope to become. And by me finally actually telling this story, like, this is a story that I wanted to tell back on the original Double E Show platform, but something just kept telling me hold off. And then so yesterday when I was planning everything for what I was going to do this week, I was like, should I do that? And I finally got a yes. Go ahead, do that. Now's the time. So I guess this is just like a video, just like other than me telling you guys like how I got that name and just what it means to me and why I fight so hard for my wrestling career. If you have relatives or someone that you really care about, make sure you tell them how much they mean to you on a consistent basis, because tomorrow's promised to no one. Tomorrow is promised to no one. When I found out that Grandma had cancer, I literally, with 100% conviction in my soul, thought she was going to beat that shit. Thought she was going to beat it. And 6 months later, she was dead. So, it's been, like I said, it's been a rough process and extremely hard, extremely hurtful. There's just, like I said, there's just days where I just wish I could just call her up. But I know that she's still here. She's guiding me through all these challenges I'm going through, and it'll all be okay. It'll all be okay in the end. And the day that I finally do get in the wrestling ring, I have this feeling that she's finally going to get to see me wrestle, because she'll be there in spirit. And that means more to me than anything in this world. Anything. Like I said, like before, like I have these, again, we'll cover this more in depth on Spirit Sundays, but I have dreams that are like super vivid, and they're either like, first they started off as dreams, and then these dreams would come true, and now they're at a point where they're daydreams and they come true. And like the match I keep seeing myself in when I do return to wrestling, I don't want to spoil the end of it, but in that match, I keep seeing her in the crowd. In a spot where only I can see her, and just keep hearing her voice just saying, I'm proud of you. So it's like, I know she'll be there. And that's why I keep fighting so hard, because I'm not going to give up on this shit. She wouldn't give up on it. I'm not going to give up on it. But I've been talking for 37 minutes now. That's like really, really, really long for YouTube time, especially for like a YouTuber that you guys don't know. And I've been crying enough, so I'm gonna go like wipe this shit off my face, go pull it together, and I don't know what I'm gonna go do now. Maybe go talk to my mom or whatever. I don't know. But I do feel like finally being able to tell this story lifted a huge weight off my chest. Like, I can smile now. I'm smiling and laughing through the pain. But yeah, I really feel like this was beneficial. I really, really feel like this is beneficial to the point that if you guys are going through similar stuff, I might even leave like links below for you guys for like helping you guys deal with your own grief. But yeah, it's time for a bitch to get off camera. I'm tired of my makeup, tired of my hair. I'm tired of a bunch of shit. So I'm Denise Donterrius, and I am my grandmother's daughter.
Mama, I made it to Forbes.